Last night, I declared faith to be the word and the theme of this coming year. And today, I hope to inspire all of us to expand our sense of faith by increasing our capacity to experience awe. Awe is that wow emotion that weaves reverence and amazement into one single moment. It is that non-rational, instantaneous reaction that we have when we experience something that stops us in our tracks. Awe is something we experience from the earliest moments in life. And if you did your homework and watched the babies traveling through tunnels, and if you haven't done your homework, you can still watch the YouTube videos of babies traveling through tunnels. You could see on their faces that truth that at the earliest parts of our lives, we experience awe. These incredible videos capture babies' faces as they are sitting in their car seats and experience this moment of what is going on here as they travel through tunnels, and you can see wow in action. As adults, such moments happen as well. We feel them when we get goosebumps, we feel tingles, or we have jaw-dropping moments. They are real, they are powerful, and they open our hearts and our minds and our spirits to forces that are greater than ourselves. From infancy to adulthood, it is this shift in perspective generated by a sense of awe that seems to be so strongly linked to the establishment and the renewal of faith. Faith in ourselves, faith in the future, and faith in God. A few months ago, I sent a survey to the entire congregation to help me craft words for today's sermon. For the 53 responses that I got, a call out to all y'all, thank you so much for responding. This survey had one single question on it, and that was, what captures your breath, your imagination, your sense of awe in this world? Here are some of the patterns that I found in the 53 responses I received. 28 of you said that you experience some kind of awe when you are in nature, whether you're on a mountain vista or a magical, beautiful hike in the woods or at a beach watching the sunset. Nature inspires an incredible sense of awe within you. 10 of you experienced awe with the birth of a child or watching children interact with the world. 8 found awe and bewilderment in new technologies, specifically the technology that was being used, that beautiful Webb telescope that was sending back amazing images at the corners of our universes. And others included the miracle of the human body, the loving kindness of individuals in our lives, the joy we experience with family and friends, surviving near-death experiences, and one person even found awe in my animal imitations. I can share those with you later if you like. As this data reflects, awe resides in both the mundane and the magnificent, each of which has the power to move the soul and the capacity to enlighten the mind. There is awe in birth, there is awe in death, there is awe in every single second in between. Awe reminds us of our fragility. Awe is startling, miraculous, and bewildering. A lunar eclipse, a morning sunrise, the vast, seemingly endless expanse of the universe captured by one of the most powerful telescopes ever created. Each can take our breath away. Each places us at the edge of a mystifying expanse, and forces us to consider ourselves within the context of a reality we cannot fully understand. In witnessing a baby's first steps, watching someone take care of someone who is sick, seeing our children grow and grow up, witnessing our parents cope bravely with the challenges of aging, awe is there every stage of our lives to remind us of our human connectivity, to humble us in our vulnerability, and to invite us to be grateful for our limited days on earth. Humility, fragility, epiphany, reverence, gratitude, and fear are all experienced through awe, which is why it is such a powerful conduit for the developing and the renewing of a sense of faith. Of course, our ability to experience awe as adults may not be as easily attained as babies taking a drive through a tunnel. But as our survey indicates, we can and we do experience awe in countless ways, in countless places. Our challenge is to pause long enough to experience them. In truth, there are obstacles and hindrances constantly bombarding us and diverting us from connecting to the world and with each other. The rigors and the stresses of work, the insanity of daily traffic, the noise of endless obligations, all of these and so much more divert our attention and distract us from appreciating and connecting to the powerful benefits experienced by awe in our lives. This is why Judaism has a very long-standing custom to begin each and every day with an expression of gratitude. According to Jewish tradition, the first thing we're supposed to do when we wake up in the morning is thank God for our lives and for the unfolding day ahead. In Psalm 92, verse 3, the psalmist declares, "Lahagid baboker chasdecha ve'emunatcha balelot." It is good to proclaim God's steadfast love in the morning and to celebrate God's faithfulness every night. From this teaching, we have established a beautiful custom of reciting words of gratitude as soon as we wake up in the morning. Through the Modeh Ani prayer, we thank God for restoring ourselves, our souls, into our bodies after a long night's sleep. Then, as the day continues to unfold, it is customary to recite 100 blessings, reminding us that everything we do and experience is worthy of praise. On Sunday mornings here in our congregation in Sunday school, when we gather as an assembly, and any of our students here will recognize this immediately, we have what is called Shehechianu moments. Shehechianu moments is a time where we take some time as a congregation of students to look back over the week. And the kids share that they had a birthday, or they share that they had some kind of special sleepover with a friend, or they share that their grandma is in town. Everything that they share, we try to instill within them, is worthy of gratitude, is worthy of praise. And after we share those things, we sing together Shehechianu, and we thank God for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to share in the joys of life itself. Now, why do we do this? What value does offering words of gratitude bring to us and to our people throughout the generations? It's important because prayer helps us generate an attitude of gratitude. And it helps us establish a mindset that we should take nothing for granted. Prayers like Modeh Ani and Shehechianu help us embrace and appreciate the glory, the majesty, the awe of every single moment of every day. According to Erica Brown, who is the director of the Mayberg Center for Jewish Education and Leadership and an associate professor at the Georgetown University, she says that there are two forms of gratitude. There is gratitude as compensation, and there is gratitude as consecration. Gratitude for compensation is something that we all are familiar with. It's an expression of gratitude for something that we receive. This kind of gratitude is transactional. If you give me something, I give you the verbal receipt, thank you for giving me that, whatever it is. It is a way of acknowledging a gift in our life with words. Now, gratitude for consecration is not transactional. This kind of gratitude is more of a feeling. It is expressed as we experience something in a moment. And it's not because we have received anything in particular. We have all been familiar with this kind of gratitude when we stand on the shores of a beach and watch a magnificent sunset, or we hold hands with someone we love, or we embrace our children, or watch them experience something for the first time. When we look back on our lives and reflect and cherish certain moments and memories that we have. Gratitude as consecration demands that we look at the world around us with a degree of wonder. As Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel calls this kind of thinking, it's radical amazement, a state of mind in which nothing is taken for granted. Through radical amazement, everything around us is a welcome surprise. It is awesome, unexpected, and super special. This kind of mindset helps us see blessings in everyday encounters and helps us recognize the miraculous in the mundane. It is a mindset that keeps us from taking life for granted, and when applied on a regular basis, it can enable us to sustain a sense of hope in our hearts and faith in the future. In his book, A Simple Act of Gratitude, John Kralik chronicles his journey from despair to renewed faith through a year-long commitment to writing thank you notes. At the age of 53, John Kralik found his life at a frightening low. His small law firm was failing. He was struggling through a painful second divorce, and he had grown distant from his two older children and was afraid he might lose contact with his youngest daughter. He was living in a tiny apartment where he froze in the winter and baked in the summer. He was 40 pounds overweight. His girlfriend had just broken up with him, and the most of his dreams in life had slipped beyond his reach. Then, during a desperate walk in the hills on New Year's Day, John was struck by the belief that his life might be turned around, or at least become a bit more tolerable, if instead of focusing on what he did not have, and instead find some way of being grateful for everything that he did. Inspired by a beautiful, simple thank you note that he had received from his ex-girlfriend for a Christmas gift that she had given him, John imagined that he might regain his footing by writing thank you notes. And so his New Year's resolution was to write 365 thank you notes in the coming year, one for every day. One by one, day after day, John crafted thank you notes for everything and for anything. He expressed gratitudes for gifts, for acts of kindness, for random interactions and positive encounters. He wrote notes to loved ones, to co-workers, to past business associates and current foes. He wrote notes to college friends and to new acquaintances and to his doctors, store clerks, handymen, and neighbors. John's daily notes of appreciation were literally to anyone and everyone in his life who had done something that he appreciated. As the year continued to unfold, from the moment he started sending these notes, things started to change for John in very significant ways. John not only started seeing and treating the world around him with more positivity, the benefits also started to come his way. From financial gains, to the development of true friendships, to weight loss, to inner peace. While John wrote his notes, the economy had collapsed. The bank across the street from his law firm was failing. But thanks to his notes, note by note, John's entire life began to turn around. The story of John Kralik is a lesson from which we all can gain some wisdom. It is a custom that we have practiced in our faith for centuries. Daily expressions of gratitude can open our eyes, our hearts, and our spirits to people, to places, to things, to experiences we often take for granted. Such an attitude of gratitude can be nurtured. It can nurture a sense of humility, can broaden our connections with the world. And with grateful hearts, no thing and no one can be taken for granted. Expressions of gratitude invite a mindset of radical amazement to feed sensations of awe, to help us reclaim a sense of faith, which is so desperately needed in our society today. This is why our tradition defines these days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur as days of awe. Over the course of the next 10 days, our tradition invites us to pay attention to what matters most in our lives. We have 10 days to quiet the mind, to open the eyes, to open our ears and our hearts to the lessons which unfold as we allow ourselves to experience more awe as we express more gratitude. As we journey from today through Yom Kippur, I invite us to engage in another bit of homework. Yes, another homework assignment, a simple exercise designed to expand our capacities to strengthen faith by developing an attitude of gratitude. Consider taking a moment every day for the next 10 days to recognize and appreciate something, a person, a place, an experience, whatever it may be that brings you a sense of amazement, amusement, or a little bit of awe. And take a moment, or 5 even, to formally express your appreciation. It can take the form of a simple prayer. You can just say Shehechianu in that moment, or just kind of pause and reflect on its specialness. Or it can take a more formal kind of form. You could make a journal entry, make a phone call to that person, or text them, or write a note. But whatever it may be, take a moment for the next 10 days to express your gratitude and see how things might change. As we do this, the hope is that we will increase our capacity to experience the world in more engaged ways. May our daily notes of gratitude help us see that there are countless blessings to behold, awesome moments to embrace, and endless experience to inspire us to maximize our faith that the year 5783 will be a year of growth, renewal, and peace. And as we commit ourselves to this simple task ahead, let us begin our journey together with a prayer of gratitude. In fact, I will even give you credit for this prayer together as we recite, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Praised are you, eternal our God, ruling Spirit of the universe, who has given us life, sustains us, and enables us to reach this holy season. Amen.